Hey everyone, welcome back to On Location Edmonton. We are here in Edmonton, about to go in and meet musician Jordyn Rayne,
which we are so excited for. This is all made possible by StoryHive, which is funded through TELUS. So
let's go check it out.
Hi everybody, my name is Jordyn Rayne and I'm an Edmonton pop punk singer songwriter.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us and chatting today. How are you doing?
I'm so good. I'm so excited to do this. I've never done anything like this, so thanks for having me.
So can you tell us, when did you first get into music? I might take you a bit back.
Not as back as you might think. Music was only about 4 years ago when I graduated MacEwan. I graduated with a diploma in vocal performance, and so while I was at MacEwan, that's when I really got into like songwriting and yeah, just like making my own music. That's where I wrote my first album. My sad girl album, is my best friend Nikki likes to say.
Everyone's got to have a sad girl album.
Everyone has
Every
sad
artist,
girl.
I think,
it's
has
true.
a sad album.
It's absolutely true. Everybody does. So that's when I wrote that. And then, yeah, it's been a 4-year journey since then.
But I guess the process leading up to MacEwan to go for, you said vocal performance. Yeah, what was the catalyst for that choice?
Well, I mean, I've been singing ever since I was little. My very first performance, my mom always says, it was me up on stage singing All I Want for Christmas Is My Two Front Teeth, and my two front teeth were actually missing. So it was very fitting. And she said she'll always remember that as being my first time on stage. And so, yeah, singing all the way through elementary, junior high, high school. I got into musical theater in high school, went to Toronto because I got into Randolph Performing Arts School, went for a semester, and I decided that the professional musical theater world wasn't for me, and that's when I came back to MacEwan, and I was like, okay, but I still like singing, so I went to MacEwan. Yeah.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. When was the transition, or I guess what caused that transition from first singing to then musical theater to then back to just singing?
What caused the transition? I think the musical theater was very much, I was at Vic, and it was, everybody did musical theater. Like if you sang, you did musical theater. There wasn't really anything else. So looking back at it now, I'm like, I feel like I was kind of pushed a little bit in that direction, and I never really got to actually discover what I wanted to do in the arts. I think I always wanted to do this. Always wanted to eventually make my own music, become like a rock star, because I grew up on 80s rock and 90s rock. My dad kind of ingrained that in me. So that's kind of how I went from the singing to the musical theater and then kind of back, because I kind of just was like more so discovering myself, as you do in your 20s, and what you actually want to do.
When you first started writing music, you said 4 years ago when you graduated. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was the initial songwriting process like for you, and how has it changed to now, fast forward 4 years, and all these songs that you've written, released?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of help when I was in school. I surrounded myself with a lot of great musicians, and I definitely had a lot of inspiration from other people, and definitely a lot of help, because all of us were kind of in that, writing music, and we're trying to figure out what we're doing, and so we're all very much willing to help each other. So I think now I am more able to do it myself and able to actually put a little bit more of me. Like definitely my first album is not me at all. No, I'm actually pretty sure I'm taking it down. So I'm like 90% sure I'm taking it down. But like, it's just because it's like very, very sad girly and very like not like, a woman empowerment, and that's what I'm standing for now. And I very much feel like that is how I live my everyday life. I try and advocate for other people, and, do some like community stuff. I mean, just 2 months ago, we did a fundraising event for AB for Abortion. So things like that. So anyway, that's kind of a little bit of a tangent, sorry.
No, don't apologize. I asked you the question, you're answering the question.
Just kind of going a little bit too far. But yeah, that's kind of why, that's my journey. I started kind of collaborating a lot more, and now it's more so, more of a representation of actually who I am. Mm-hmm.
When you're writing a song, do you go in being like, this is the kind of song it's going to be, or does it kind of find its own genre. Is that the right word to use?
Yeah,
Like,
no, I know what
version
you
of
mean.
it?
Yeah, own genre, yeah, own style. Songs just come in various different ways. I mean, a lot of the time I will just like be humming a melody line while I'm driving in my car. I mean, that's how Hellhound came to be. I was driving in my car and I was just came up with a melody line in my head. And I found Nikki, my best friend, who's also my bassist, and I'm like, is this good? And she's like, yeah, that's gonna be a hit. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so we kind of went off of that melody line. And then other times, like Pandora's Box, we didn't know what we were doing. We had so many different ideas for that song, and it actually got pushed back in the recording process because we just couldn't decide on where the heck this was going. And that is actually kind of why there's a little instrumental bit in that song that is just kind of like a messy bunch of different sounds in your ear. And that's kind of why, because we just all had different things. And I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of a good thing for this song anyway, because it's talking about the political environment that we're currently living in and how much of a mess it is. So anyway, and that's, yeah, so like they just kind of come in different ways. I mean, sometimes Connor will write a riff and we'll be able to come up with something from that. Or I'll even like come up with just like a chord progression, bring it over, and then we'll be able to come up with something. Yeah, there's many different ways we've written songs. Yeah,
that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
For that musical education background, how do you think that's helped you in your singer-songwriter abilities? And you kind of answered it with your passions.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I've always been a kind of musical theory nerd, and so I do find that actually knowing the theory grants me the ability to know what will sound good, and what kind of sound I want. It gives me the ability to articulate, I guess, what I'm hearing in my head. And then I still, like, my ears are better than they used to be, obviously, but I don't have perfect pitch, or maybe I have an ear pitch, but I don't think so. But like, I definitely have better ears, and so I'm able to, pick out again, just like what I want and what sounds good from like the piano or from like what I'm playing on my guitar or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so you also play guitar.
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. No, like I don't play on stage because I'm not that good. I just play when I write. I'm working up to the ability and the confidence to play on stage, but I'm just like not confident in my guitar playing on stage yet. We'll see.
Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you
make it. Very true. Yeah, it's very true, actually. One day.
With those songs that come to you kind of randomly, are they usually written like within the span of a day, a week, an hour, a month? What does your usual look like, I guess? Or is there a usual? Is it random?
It's very random. Yeah. Because I think Hellhound was written in a day, pretty much, yep. And then Pandora's Box took months. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's all over the place. It's definitely all over the place. Some songs just take more time and effort to figure out where they want to go. I remember even from like my second album, Lady, the one where I basically debuted my rock persona. There was this one song that was actually the first one I started for the album, called Mr. Editor. But it was the last one we recorded because we just couldn't finish it. We couldn't finish the dang song. We couldn't figure out what it needed until we eventually did. But yeah, it took a long time. I was worried it wasn't even going to make it on, actually. So.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That close to the finish line that it was like.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and it was so funny because I was like, I want this song on it. I wrote this, like it was it was the first or second song that I wrote for that album to be on it. So and when I say wrote, I mean just like came up with the idea, like came up with like melody line or something. But then we couldn't figure out like the rest of it,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Had to fit all the pieces together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then I finish it. Yeah.
When debuting that rock persona, what was that experience like for you?
My friends and family weren't surprised. That's like, no, scratch that. They were surprised, actually, I think. Just because it was such a big change from the first Sad Girl album that I had. But then I think as they began to like listen to it and they were like, okay, yeah, no, this actually kind of makes more sense.
This is fitting.
Yeah, like at first they were surprised, but then they kind of realized that this is definitely more what I meant to do. The whole, my whole thing with like moving to that part was when I was trying to perform my first album, the Sad Girl Pouty album. I was like, I can't like jump up and down onto this stuff. I can't like actually like, you know, have fun on stage to this kind of music. So I need to write music that I actually need to have, I want to have fun with. And yeah, that's kind of how that happened. I was like, what kind of music do I actually like listening to? Do I actually like dancing and like bopping my head to? And that's where this rock persona came from.
And the friends and family that were exposed to that rock persona for the first time, are they supportive of the kind of this version of you?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah. My true friends, my true family, like yes, they love everything I'm doing. They're so supportive, and they'll do anything they can. I mean, my mom sometimes will help me with festival applications, and like I know she's the best, and she will like help me go through my emails because oh my god, I hate going through emails.
That is the worst part.
It's so bad. I hate it. And like my boyfriend, he's been great. He's been like reaching out to blogs and radio hosts and things, trying to get me anything. Because you guys probably don't know, but it's just such a tough industry right now. It's insane. And the fact that AI is now a competitor, it's like, how are we supposed to get anywhere? There's so many of us trying to put out our stuff on all the social media. It's like so saturated that I am screaming, but I am just like 6 feet under. Nobody can hear me. It's just, and every musician knows what I'm talking about and just can relate to what I'm saying. I know they can because it's definitely not a secret that that's how the industry is like right now.
So you don't like AI? I hate AI, so I'm with you, girl.
I can see maybe like the appeal and like I can see the purpose to it, but it's when it gets overused and abused, and creating music using only AI is abusing it because it's just I can't with it. I just can't with it. It makes me mad.
I agree, and I mean I'm not a musician, as I was mentioning, but my sister was talking to me about an individual that she met who called himself a musician, and when she asked what instruments he played, he said, "Oh, I don't play instruments. Like I use AI," and she was like, "Do you know what the definition of a musician is? Because that's not it." So. Unfortunately, I think AI has kind of bled its way to the creative industry.
Yeah.
So
it definitely has.
I sympathize because the creative world is tough as it is, as you mentioned. And so when you're going against robots, it's kind of insane.
I really hope that someday they'll put some regulations against it because, yeah, because people are listening to it. Like, I will go onto Spotify and an AI band will have more listeners than I do. And, like, a lot more listeners than I do. And I get it, like, AI is using what is known to be what the masses like.
Yeah, it's successful. It's an algorithm.
It's an algorithm, exactly. So, like, they're using all the popular hooks and all that stuff. But there's no emotion. There's no, like, storytelling. There's no, actual raw music. So, yeah. Anyway.
Which is the worst part, because that's what I feel like music is all about, the storytelling, the emotion, how it makes you feel. But I digress.
I know, I digressed.
I will stop beating this dead horse and I will let us move on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Though, yes.
If you were one of your songs, which song would you be? Do you think?
Definitely Hellhound. Yep. that one is the biggest current representation of what I am doing and who I want to be. I think if anybody is to listen to my music, that is the one you got to listen to first. It's the Avril Lavigne pop punk fun song, all about women empowerment, talking about a bunch of different like issues that us women face in everyday life. And I mean, not to toot my own horn, it was a semi-finalist for an award, so yay me. But yeah, that one's definitely the best one to listen to, and that represents me.
Why do you think it's important to, I guess, make music about things that you like deem to be these like issues that women face and all that sort of thing? Like, why do you think it's important to put that into music?
Well, I mean, I don't think that there is enough women even actually talking about this kind of stuff in music. Like, specifically, when I think about Canadian female musicians, I don't think I know much about, like, I don't know many that are actually in the punk genre and actually, like, using music to advocate in this kind of way. I mean, I don't know many women in rock in Canada at all, actually. So I think that's really important, and being that authentic, not letting all of the people that have told me to go pop and country, like, you don't even know how many people have told me that, you guys.
If you had $1 for every person that told you,
you'd
be at the Junos, you'd buy your spot.
They're like, if you want to really be successful, you gotta go dream poppy or you gotta go country.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm just like, that is exactly why there is no rock female representation in Canada. Like, like very limited anyway, I should say, very limited. There obviously is some, but I think it's really important for me to use what I actually believe in and the kind of music that I actually want to play, and just stick with that and be authentic to myself. Yeah.
I agree. I think that's amazing, because I think a lot of women are told to do a lot of things with a lot of aspects of life. And so to stay true to yourself and to be the Avril Lavigne to young girls that are now looking up to you is incredible.
I'd love to be the next generation Avril Lavigne.
Props to you, because you're on the path to do so.
Oh, I appreciate that. One day. Yes.
I'll ask you one last question, because I know you have a rehearsal and things to get back to.
Oh no, it's okay.
It doesn't have to be specific to music, but what would you say is the best piece of advice you have received throughout your life?
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna say it again. It's just be authentically you, and I think that is what is setting people apart when it even comes to like social media content. Being raw, being vulnerable, like not necessarily getting all dolled up in makeup to go and like post a video on social media or something, and not necessarily like cleaning up your bedroom when you're about to like post a video, and just be you, be life, because not everyone is perfect, and there was a time for the Photoshop and the perfect image of like people in like that whole 2000s era where everything was just photoshopped on in magazines, and there's just like a certain way you had to be anyway. There was a time for that, and now there's a time for raw authenticity and vulnerability and just being a human. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you very much for sitting down and chatting with me.
Thank you. This was so fun. I really appreciate it.
This was awesome.
Try to cage a beast, she'll break down the bars. Better watch her when she gets herself unleashed. Gonna hear her scream when you give her commands. She'll lash out like a goddamn hellhound. When you try to tell her no, she will tell you where to go. 'Cause no one is gonna stop her, no, they'll only make her stronger.
Hey everyone, just finished up with Jordyn Rayne, and oh my gosh, I'm a yapper. It was so much fun.
It was so cool. She and her band are amazing. They're insane. Her vocals are so crazy. You know, you had the live drums, the bass, the guitar, and you could still hear her like raw, authentic voice. It was great. Wow.
No, they're extremely talented. Like, I'm so glad we were able to witness it firsthand, and excited to see them at the Junos in a few years.
Yeah.
We'll be able to be like, oh my gosh, we interviewed them. Yeah, the vocals were awesome. Everything was awesome. But like, I was going to ask questions about specifically like aspiring musicians, but I yapped over time. So we didn't get to know, but maybe one day you will find the answers to those questions. Check out Jordyn Rayne on all the platforms. See, I didn't even ask where you can find her music because I was talking too much.
Apple Music, Facebook, Instagram. I was reading the sign.
Yeah, it's all in the back. So if you just
all
read
in
the
the
sign in the back, it'll show you where.
Just search Jordyn Rayne and everything's gonna come up.
So listen to her music, check it out.
Hey, it's the Bird Bound Besties here.
Do you want to be a guest on our show?
If you have a story that's worth sharing with the community, feel free to scan the QR code at the end of this video to be a guest on our show or one of the other amazing On Location shows that are available within Alberta and BC. So if you want to be a guest, scan the QR code.